What's up, gamers? It's a CES 2012 DOS Reviews exclusive of the new game Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Check it out now.
This is the arcade action mode, yeah. This is more like a horde mode. So you've got your countdown over here. You've got a multiplier. So with dodges, with cinematic dodges, and with kills, you're increasing your multiplier. You want to keep that up. If you get hit, your multiplier gets back zeroed again. You got your mini map on the top left. That will show you where the nearest safe haven is, as well as ammunition. If we head up towards the church there, right there, there's a nail gun. And the guys at the office are loving it. We didn't have any coded scoreboards or anything. We just used a whiteboard, and we had like the top 5, and we kept rubbing people off the top list until, you know, we're saying like this could be a perfect fit for Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And it was a ton of fun. But then, you know, Sam Lake, you know, we're a storytelling studio after all. Sam Lake comes in and says, well, if we're going to do this, we have to add a story mode to it. And Night Springs, if you remember from the first game, Night Springs, the Twilight Zone kind of feeling TV episode. So this is framed as an episode of Night Springs, and with that framing, we can go a lot more pulp. So it's a pulp action adventure, whereas the influences on Alan Wake were Stephen King and Tipping Our Hats, Alfred Hitchcock and Lost and Twin Peaks. This is a lot more Quentin Tarantino, From Dusk Till Dawn. It's got a grindhouse feel to it. Like I said, it's a pulp action adventure.
That's cool. So is it all just arcade modes, or is there actually a story?
There's a story mode. There's a 4 to 5 hour story mode in there, and then in addition to that, there's the arcade action mode.
Nice.
So the story mode is events after what happened in Alan Wake. And the backstory goes that early on in Wake's career, he'd written several episodes of Night Springs. Now you're playing an episode of Night Springs, and it's written by Alan Wake himself. So Wake himself has learned a lot since we saw him last. He's able to now use fiction to his advantage, and that's what's happening here. He's using fiction. And there's a story puzzle in there with you calling Rewriting Reality. Now if you match the events described on a page, on a manuscript page, to that of a scene, you rewrite reality for big things to happen.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's Eric.
Now, has this been priced yet, do you know, or is it going to be like about 15, 20 bucks, you think?
We haven't decided on the pricing yet. Actually, you know, Microsoft will ultimately decide the pricing, but we're quite confident it's going to be, you know, in the same kind of region.
Yeah, I
as
figure like $15.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That seems to be the new standard. So.
Sure.
This is DLC?
No, this is a full new XBLA game. XBLA game, yeah. So we got a ton of new enemies, like this splitter. That goes against everything that we taught you before. If you use your light on them, they will split, as you see. Any kind of light source, they will split.
So it's a light, you have to shoot it.
Yeah, exactly. They get progressively weaker, but there is strength in numbers, so you need to choose your tactics carefully. Another new enemy, the grenades coming in. So we have a grenadier that keeps his distance. Again, offering more variation, where before all the Taken would attack you always. There's one Taken that you have to actually hunt down and kill, otherwise he'll just keep his distance and lug grenades at you.
That's cool.
So a little bit more about the story mode. After the events that happened in Bright Falls, now the story's been told that Alan Wake was this rock star rider that had come there with his wife to Bright Falls and brutally murdered her in a cabin. And this is the kind of urban legend that has kind of been born after the events there, with the locals talking. Now in Wake's world, fiction can come real, and that's what's happened here. So
I played the original game. It's crazy how it's just has the same vibe as the original.
Yeah. So from that urban legend, Mr. Scratch has been born. Now Mr. Scratch is the main bad guy here, and he's Wake's evil double. And he's on his way to do horrible things to Wake's wife, and Wake's trying to stop him.
That was so close, bro. I wanted. It's awesome.
You like it?
Oh man.
So this is just the arcade mode, and then you got the story mode as well. I think you're really going to enjoy the story mode.